So here we are, the PalmSwap launch happened, and of course we're gonna talk about the launch, but also the brand new features of the project. First of all, I'm super frustrated with the launch, I wanna put that out there. So when the launch did not go as planned, I was sitting there just as sweaty as you guys, counting down the launch, and then if I remember correctly, the launch was delayed. And that was the first thing I thought, like, okay, it's being delayed, but it's no problem. I also saw that they were really slow at updating what was going on. And I think that's one of the biggest issue here, because now looking back on what happened during the launch, it looked like they were working really hard. I actually tracked them on Binance Smart Chain to see exactly what was going on. I tracked where the money was going and so on. And most of the money was just sitting in the same place, but they moved some money to another account in order to try and fix the liquidity of the project. Because really what happened was that when they tried to connect the website to the initial liquidity, some sniper bots got in there and started trading, putting liquidity in there and so on, and driving up the price. So it's basically something that shouldn't happen from the beginning, but there seems like from the creation or the adding of the liquidity, there was a delay until they connected and added the real liquidity. Of course, it takes some time to do that, but it should have been done faster, and that's why it failed. It was a complete mess, and they sucked at giving us answers right away, so I was pretty frustrated just sitting there at launch. I didn't know what was happening. I thought for a moment, like, holy shit, did we just get rug pulled with a big project I put like 10k into? That would absolutely suck. They kept working on it. I could track them on BSC scan, as I said. What would happen if they would manually go about putting in the liquidity without adjusting the price? So a lot of people were frustrated that it didn't just go in and put all the liquidity in. So basically what would happen is if they put in the liquidity at the wrong price, either you wouldn't get your 2x, you know, the promised 2x that we were all waiting for, you wouldn't get that 2x, or if the price was too high, you would get a 5x, but it would dump so fast from these bots and I guess people dumping that you wouldn't even have time to take out your 2x. So what they have decided on doing, if I understand correctly, is slowly build up the liquidity, and they have multiple accounts making sure the price doesn't dip too low or go too high. So personally, I'm not gonna sell any Palm tokens at the moment because they are keeping the price at this point in order to slowly add liquidity and letting the price grow here naturally at some point. Once there is more liquidity there, I would guess the price can grow freely, but for now the price is a little bit artificial, and I mean, that doesn't sound too good, and honestly this entire launch was a bit sketchy, but they're now better at communicating. They have put out a post explaining everything. So I guess that's really good, but I just wanted to rant on about my frustration here. Rant is over. I want to show you guys what PalmSwap is all about now. So if you were a part of the fair launch, what you can do is just head over to the claim page. It's directly on the website. Up here you can press claim, and then you can claim your tokens. You get 25% of your tokens now, and then you get more later as they're being unlocked over time. What you can then do with your tokens is you can either put them in the farm, the liquidity farm, to help adding liquidity. So this could be a big brain strategy here, because they have the account set in place that will trade up and down the PalmSwap price and keep it more stable. That would add more value to adding liquidity, because you would get bigger rewards for adding liquidity. Personally, I'm not gonna do any farming or any staking. I'm just gonna hold my own tokens and see what happens. Projects like these do more than 30 to 100x. It's been really crazy. I'm of course waiting for that, but since there were some issues during the launch, I'm not gonna stake my tokens. That really sucks. It would give me some extra rewards from staking, but due to how the launch was executed, I'm just gonna stick with my tokens and just see what happens from here. Here we of course have the PalmSwap pool where you can stake for 113% APR. But currently what I'm mostly interested in is, let's head over to CoinMarketCap. There we go. We take the, oh shit, it's peaking really hard right now. Okay, that is really interesting. Let's head over to PooCoin. Peaking really hard right now. We got $90,000 in liquidity, and that is not all of the money that will be put into liquidity. Damn, it's peaking really hard. So we're almost at that magical 2x already. That's really cool. We can see the liquidity is growing. At the launch day, there were like 10k liquidity only, or well, the day after. And now we're sitting at 90k liquidity, and it is growing over time. It's really cool to see the price growing finally. A lot of pretty big buys like 4.5 BNB, 3 BNB and so on. That is great to see. So I think we can expect the price to keep on going. Of course, it's gonna do a little pattern up and down, but I think generally it's gonna grow from here. A lot of people are gonna wait for more liquidity before they buy. Personally, I feel really relaxed now after the launch when they have covered everything, added all of the information, what was going on and the solutions and so on. I think they're working on saving what happened during the launch, but as you heard in the beginning, I was just as frustrated as you guys here during the launch. Honestly, it really sucked. Seems like they're gaining the trust of the people once again. They didn't run away with the money or anything like that. It's looking like they're building on the product, doing what they said, slowly adding liquidity over time, which is really good news. So really what we can do now is just sit back, relax, and let them do the hard work. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I'll see you next time.